Hello fellow hunters of the blue, and welcome to my channel and welcome to Zero Skill, a series of videos where I show you methods of painting apparently complex things in a way that requires almost no skill whatsoever. In today's video I'm going to show you don't need to know how to blend to paint the most amazing power swords. I'm going to paint an incredible looking sword just by dry brushing. Yes, just dry brushing. But before we start, let me talk to you about today's video sponsor, Skillshare. I am extremely happy to have Skillshare back as a sponsor because it's something I truly believe in. By joining Skillshare, you will get access to thousands of amazing classes in any topic you can think of, like color theory, sculpting, photography, and video production. Why not learn to paint amazing art with the new learning paths? For example, explore acrylic painting as an absolute beginner. Learning paths are a series of curated classes designed to help you master a specific skill, and with this one you will be guided through the whole process of using the acrylic paints you already have to maybe discover a new hobby, or at the very least, learn a very valuable lesson to apply to miniature painting. Skillshare is the largest online learning community for creatives with thousands of classes led by industry experts across film, illustration, design, freelance productivity, and more. This summer, invest in yourself, starting a learning journey on Skillshare to explore your creativity and find new passions. The first 500 people to use my link in the description will receive a 1-month free trial of Skillshare. Get started today. So thanks again to Skillshare for sponsoring this video, and let's get cracking. As you can see, we are starting from a base coat of Sotek green, and I'm going to concentrate on one side first and then I will do the other. Stay with me. For my dry brushing today, I'm going to use the ARTIFY 5-piece dry brush set, which is, to me, bang for your buck, the absolute best dry brushes you can get in the market. I fully endorse it. This is not a sponsored video. Since I tried them, they have been my go-to brushes, and for the price, you cannot compete. They come in this lovely case with some sponge and some soap to clean them up. They have 5 sizes and the quality is amazing. They are sold through Amazon, super easy to get, and if you want to support me, I have an affiliate link in the description and in the pinned comment of this video. Thanks. The first step is going to do a dry brush using Tempered God Blue. And for that I'm going to use my number 5 dry brush. I'm going to start with this side and I'm going to do a triple pattern, or at least attempt to. So I'm going to do light at the top and light at the bottom. You can attempt to just do one progression. As you can see, I am always brushing in the same direction, and I don't really care what happens to the other side of the blade. I don't really care. Right now, my only concern is this side here. Once I have my initial dry brush done, it's time to move on to the small dry brush of the set, the tiny number 3. Now I'm going to start with Tempered God Blue again, just to refine this a little bit more. And again, I'm always brushing in the same direction. That is very important for the effect that we are going for, because dry brushing does leave a little bit of texture, but I'm going to try to integrate that into my paint job. With that done, I'm going to move on to the dark side now, which is this one in the middle here, and for this I'm going to use Incubi Darkness. Just like that. And you see, because we are brushing always in the same direction, we get sort of a blade effect. It's really cool. For my next step, I'm going to use a 1-to-1 mix of Tempered God Blue and white. And the technique is going to be the same. Just want to make sure I have the perfect amount of moisture and paint. And again, I'm always moving my brush in the same direction. I can be quite a bit heavier here at the top, just to build that transition up. I will do the same here at the bottom. And again, I don't care at all what happens to the other side of the blade. I will take care of that later on. If I want to refine some of these transitions, I can go back, for example, to Temper Guard Blue and do just that. Now going to move on to the last dry brush. This is going to be white, just pure white. And for this, I want to be very light with this. Be careful when you are doing white. White is very opaque, so we want to make sure we have the minimum amount of paint on our brush as possible. And remember to keep on brushing just in the same direction. Just like that, we have a really cool transition. To finish all off, you can use the same dry brush technique to do the edge highlight. I'm going to start in the darker side with Temper Guard Blue mixed with white. But this time you can apply a little bit more paint to the brush, and we just want to catch the edge with the side of our dry brush. You will probably have to do a couple of passes there, but that's not a big deal. And now I'm going to move on to pure white using the same dry brush. I haven't changed my brush yet, and I don't plan to do that. So I'm going to pick up the edge. Don't be afraid to use your finger to wipe up some of the excess paint from the edge if you feel like it might be too much. And we can also emphasize the white at the very tip if we feel like so. Now I'm going to take Zotac Green again and clean the other side. Just very simple step. I'm just going to do a nice, even, careful layer on this side to basically get rid of any of the paint that we put on that side by accident. And now is where the fun begins, because we have to do the opposite on the other side of the blade. And how are we going to do that without messing up this side? Well, I'm going to use masking tape, specifically Tamiya masking tape, which is the best kind of masking tape you can have. And you can see how little I have left. I will probably have to buy another roll of this very soon. I'm just going to take a little bit of Tamiya masking tape, and I'm going to apply it to my blade as straight as I can, just like that. I'm going to press slightly onto the blade, onto the painted side, so I'm making sure that I have good adherence and that I'm not going to mess up my work. And don't worry, the Tamiya masking tape is designed to not lift paint up. And if you have a strong primer, in my case I'm using spray, you shouldn't have any issues. So I'm going to do the same on the other side. Same steps, same paints. But in this case, the light side is going to be in the middle, right here. And again, I'm using the same motion and the same pattern of brush strokes, in my case facing downwards. Now I'm moving on to my smaller brush again with a dark color, Inky White Agnes. Here where the nodules are of the sword, it's very important to make sure that this paint gets onto the recesses, so we don't have like a lighter bit of paint surrounding that nodule. So you might have to change slightly your pattern. Now I'm going to move on to the lighter color. This is the 1-to-1 of Temper Guard and white. And finally moving on to pure white. And now it's time for the reveal of the whole sword. And as you can see, no paint lifted, and what an amazing sword. Look at that, that's not bad, isn't it? I think that's pretty good. The final step will be to catch this middle section, because it kind of enhances the effect. So I'm going to use just white for that, and I'm going to use a normal brush. If you don't feel confident of doing this, don't do it. But if you're careful, just with the side of your brush, you should be able to catch that middle ridge. With the clever use of some masking tape, we are able to achieve amazing things using the most basic techniques. You want a different color for your power sword? Why not check some of my other videos on how to paint them? and use those colors instead. The possibilities are endless. Thank you for watching this video, and don't forget that if you like my videos and want to help me make them, you can follow me on social media. You have the links to all my social media in the description below and in the pinned comment of this video. Share and like this video, but most importantly, there is Patreon and channel members. Patrons and members allow me to do all the cool videos that I want to make, and most importantly, they allow me to be able to release videos here for free on YouTube. Perks include access to an amazing Discord community full of lovely people, access to many more Patreon exclusive videos, and now private one-on-one online tutorings. Help me and join the list of the coolest persons in the planet, including Ebony, Rogelio Thomas, Geek Daddy, Chris, Jamie Decat, Mathix, Wandering Peria, Steofine, Peter McIlroy, Quintango, TTSS Productions, Jay Hoover, Nicholas Acebar, Minis by Abe, Will Harris, Benjamin, William February Albeo, Jessica Curtis, Emily, Queen of Sloths, Nicholas Davis, Agon David, Pablo Cuesta, Benjamin Barbet, Pumpkin Hill, Chris Black, Jacob, Matthias Babiuk, Andrew Michensko, Alan Miller, Jake Staines, Stefan Zimmerman, Andrew Walden, Tom, Dr. Mike, Martin Rivera, Szechual, PJM, David Rady, Matt Wallis, Robert McKillon, Mark Carter, Chester Ross, Matt Griffiths, Arkealos, Taylor Hughes, Chris Gilroy, Allman Gaming, Spacey Joe, Mark Watson, Hamish Donald, Matthew Lang, Inigo Garcia, Star Wars Stavros, Shinji Wo, Mark Regueira, Romain, Ash Miniatura, Jazz Rex, Joe Ofu, Dr. Cathaber, Angelos Alexos, Des, Ranier Hogbark, Mark Varenkup, Felix Franke, Aaron Bernstein, Damil Ramin, Bolsey, Phil Walberg, Terry Denham, Plunge, Howard Horville, Stephanie Old, Painting Peter, Stephen Rockford, Ryan Nilsson, Oscar Jonathan Thomberg, Nin Nguyen, Dan Mako, Kristalios, Bartosz Badensky, Kevin Mian, Darcy Farrar, Natius Maximus, Arondel, Javi Mota, Emon Patton, Alan Thaxton, Heather Amstead, Mark Atkinson, Mark Jarvis, Fergal, Josh Simpson, Christopher Moret, G-Force, Dr. B, Bartholomew Cahuza, Leonard Lindemann, Keno Mulfer, Andrew Dyer, and Kevin Sulers. And as for me, I will catch you in the next one. Bye.